what God is desiring them to live, they do not want to live. It isn't their way. The situation that Jesus states is something that we, in one way or form, have experienced. As you have worked, or maybe served in the church or in ministry, someone you've worked with, or someone who supervised you, someone you supervise, in some way, has been threatened by you, and has been equally showing their threat to you. This actually happens a lot more in ministry than you think it does. I've heard of countless stories of many people who don't want to work in the church or serve in ministry and want to serve outside of ministry because when they try to go work in the church told them to go away. The church told them they are not needed, or that thing they want to do is not what the church wants to do. And so they get up and they leave. I remember when I was first called to the Lao Church in Minneapolis, so many years ago now, time has passed. One of the young adults there was against everything that I did. And I really couldn't figure out because for the most part, I really liked him. I thought he had great potential in becoming a leader. I thought he had some skills. There's some issues that he worked on. There's some more knowledge of God's scripture that he had to learn. But he had great potential to do many good things for God. I believe that. But for whatever reason at the time, he was against every single thing that I did. In essence, he was really my threat to my work in the church there. At one point in time, it wasn't necessarily a cultural thing. I thought maybe the reason why he doesn't like me was because I wasn't really loud. And that I'm working in this loud English-speaking church, a loud English-speaking church. I thought maybe, I didn't want to make it about race, but sometimes, when you're working cross-cultural, that tends to be the situation. It finally came out of me, and the real reason he was against me, it wasn't necessarily against me as an individual person. Turns out he actually liked me. It's funny how those things work, right? Well, I like you. The problem is I don't like what you're doing. Which we often say, people we don't like, that's what they're doing. But in reality, what happened was he was at one point in time promised to be trained and to be developed to become a pastor position in which I took. And then all of a sudden I showed up and everything changed, he said. He felt neglected by the church leadership. He felt that he was betrayed by the promise that he was not being mentored and trained up as he had promised to be, to take on the role. Of course, that has nothing really to do against me. This all took place before I came. I had no idea about this story. There were some things that did take place that did cause that to actually eventually stop, and that was nothing related to me. It was purely the fact that he felt that he was obligated to take on the role. But God had me there for a reason. As leaders, we must be careful not to make the mistake in which so often the Pharisees did. See, the Pharisees continued to feel threatened by God because he was shaking up the way they were doing things. Their tradition, the way they walked, the way they taught, the way they lived. Jesus challenged all those things. And so they got to a point in which they couldn't do anything else. And all they could do is make threats and find ways to kill them. Now, I'm not saying that we are going to kill people that get in our way. Obviously, this is a different time and a place. So that does occur in some situations, but not here, hopefully. But we must be careful how we interact with people around us who desire to serve. We must give them the opportunity to stand up, to lead, to teach, to do what God is calling them to do, in the process helping them along the way in which they make their mistakes. The Pharisees were scared of Jesus and his followers constantly because of this idea of this is how we do things. But God is constantly telling us there are ways you can do things other than the way you're doing it, and that is okay. Be willing to see what God is doing. How does God want us to work? How does God want us to serve? Ultimately, how is God ultimately leading us in all that we do? yourself, how is God leading us? Not just in what we do day to day, week to week, what's normal. But outside of that, what does God want us to do? How does God want us to lead? How does God want us to show the community around us that He loves them and that we love them? These are all important questions to ask in a time of reflection that Christ ultimately died for us on our sin. There's nothing that we have done to deserve it, but we know that ultimately we are saved through the faith that we have in Him. But because of that faith we have in Him, we desire to serve Him in means in which maybe we are not yet know how to do. So we have to be open to what God is leading and doing for us. So I hope and pray that the peace of God, which passes all understanding, keep our hearts and minds focused on Christ, as Christ lead and guide us in our everyday life and in the way to help us reach the community for faith around us. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for your words today, for the trials that Jesus faced and how we can learn from them. I do pray that you help us in our hearts. If we feel challenged or threatened in the way the Pharisees threat about what Jesus was doing, that you help us that might feel this way, Heavenly Father, to open our hearts up to see what you're doing in the life of this church and community around us. Help us to adjust our way, our means, so we can successfully preach the gospel to all around us. And ultimately, Heavenly Father, that is what it's all about. Your Son, Jesus Christ. Whom we pray this